Alright, I got asked to do a bit of a video walk around of the boat. Here she is. She's a 2007 built hull, built the end of 2007 and launched 2008, so I was told. She's in pretty good condition for her age because she lives in her purpose-built boat shed out here. Let's start with the trailer. So it's the original Macgregor trailer, aluminium trailer. About maybe, I think it was 3 years ago or something, I had the new drawbar made down here at Horizon Shores Marina down the road. It's got the Australian hitch on it. So the trailer was built in 2007. The axle ended up with some rust in it, which is why I got a new axle put in down at Horizon Shores Marina about 3 or 4 years ago, whatever it was. A new axle put on, new torsion arms, and Australian compliant brakes because it had the original American ones before. But they're getting roadworthy done tomorrow actually, so we'll see. Everything should be fine. If it's not, obviously it'll be fixed. These rails here I had put on once again down at the marina down there, and they are fantastic. If you're going to buy one of these boats and you don't buy this one, get yourself some of those rails put on your trailer because they make life so much easier. You know, the boat is easy to launch and retrieve single-handed, provided you don't have any big crosswind or anything, because obviously it's a high windage hull, so you know she gets blown around. But if you launch at a pontoon or whatever, that doesn't really matter too much. Right, the boat. The hull is in good condition, I would say. Never had any damage to the hull or anything like that, except for like your chips in the gel coat and whatnot, which I've repaired, which is just normal. Nothing major. The hull has petite anti-foul on it. It's like a hard anti-foul that you can have on the trailer or in the water. And that was done. The boat's been used, I think, twice since that was done. We just haven't been using the boat, so it was done like maybe a year ago or whatever, but it's been used, I think, twice since then. There's a bit of touch up in the shed. I think I've got a bit left, so if you, you know, because you might get a scratch here and there if you lay it on the trailer or whatever. The motor, it's the Evinrude E-Tech. It's had a couple, before it's been used, we've had one trip since it had the full service with the injectors taken out and fully cleaned and everything, because it just sits here and it gets started every couple of weeks but it's not being used. It's in basically good condition. Obviously you can see a bit of corrosion there. That's pretty normal for the periods it's been in the water, you know. It had a new tilt trim a few years ago because that rusted or that corroded. But she starts first go every time. In fact, let's start her up. Rabbit's ears on there, and couple of pumps there. Down to the first click. Wait for it to go deep, and first go every time, and turns like a kid. I'm confident we shouldn't have any trouble with the motor, at least for a while, because it's running fine. Idle's fine, runs fine. Obviously, we'll throw in these rabbit's ears with the boat. Okay, so that's pretty. Look, the rudders, they are original rudders. You can buy replacements rudders. You can buy replacement parts for lots of parts you can buy, because there's a shop online in America called Blue Water Yachts that because these boats have been, so many of them made, they're still very popular, even though they don't make them now, but they still sell all the parts, well, most of the parts anyway, and all like aftermarket things and stuff you can buy. So you can buy new rudders, but these rudders, they call them sacrificial rudders because they're pretty much made of resin. They're designed to, you know, you can whack the bottom and you'll get some chips out of them or whatever. They might break, but you can fix them. And I would rather have the rudders break than the boat, so I'm happy with it working like that. So you can see there's been chips and been repaired, and that's pretty normal. So that's what it is, but they're still fine. They're very easy to repair too. When you do get a chip or whatever in them, they're just easy to repair. Right, let's have a look up here. So this carpet, this is like teak outdoor carpet, totally weatherproof and everything. As you can see, it looks quite pretty. We did that not too long ago, me and the missus, but it's only been used a handful of times since this was done, which just sitting on there with Velcro. This is your helm seat. Hang on a sec. That's your helm seat. Right. Okay, there's a tiny tear in there, but that's not too hard to fix. There's your helm. It's got a stereo speakers in the cockpit and everything. So sails, it's the original jib and main. That's all there is, the jib and the main. But that's all I need anyway. What's the wind doing? Wind's behind us. I'll just have a little look at the jib, eh? There you go. If you've never sailed before, this is what you want to do. You just want to get out with the jib, get out with the motor, and get somewhere out the way of everything, and just start with just playing around with the jib. And you can sail quite well with the jib in this boat. So. Okay, and we're off. There we go. You can see that the gel coat is actually in pretty damn good condition. Considering its age, it's still very white and everything. You know, I just give it a clean with a bit of normal car washing stuff, and have a cup of bleach in there. Give it a scrub down again. Is it good? So, jib. This is a protective strip on there. You can see a little bit of mould on there, but that's very normal, so don't stress about that. It's actually in pretty good condition. Plenty of life left in the sails. It's a furling jib, obviously. That's what you want. It makes life a lot easier. Okay, so you got a sand anchor in that one, which is fine for, like, you know, day trips and whatever. And there's a big claw anchor in the shed. Okay, you can see I've got the gin pole, the mast raising pole there. So you can sail with that in position there if you want. We've done that before. We went up the Clarence River at night. We actually lowered the mast while underway at night. We had that in position. But normally you wouldn't, you know, keep it in the stern berth or whatever. So these wires wouldn't be here, wouldn't be in your way. Right, let's have a look inside. As you can see, she looks quite pretty with the new carpet me and the missus did. Okay, let's do this as quick as possible because I already actually filmed it once and I went way too long just blabbering on about everything, and it just went way too long. As you can see, the boat is in pretty good condition. It's been a well-loved, well-kept boat, but it isn't brand new. I had someone come over. I think they might have thought they were coming to look at a brand new boat, so we have to be realistic there. You look closely, okay, this carpet here, me and the missus recently made this carpet and got the edging done on it and everything. We bought, this is proper marine grade carpet, so we got that done, and in the cockpit we did that. In the cockpit, in here, it's just put that non-slip stuff underneath and just sits there. That works fine. In the cockpit there's Velcro holding that on. But if you look closely, definitely you're going to see marks and things because it's the original carpet on the walls. Okay, if you pull, like we had leftover carpet, so we made those kind of featured things up in there, but under there you're going to find marks. There's marks around on the carpet. At some point maybe someone would want to replace that. I don't think it'd be too hard, to be honest, because it's not like floor carpet, it's just like material and it comes off easy. You can just pull it off and then you can go along with the new piece. But anyway, that's up to whoever buys it. And the cushions, most of the cushions, well not most, a lot of the cushions we don't use, so they don't get hardly any use. They stay at home, they're not in the boat. They've only been put in the boat for selling it. So but the ones that are in here all the time, of course they do get used. So if you look at them, there is some wear, there's a little repair I've done there, there's, you know, but by and large you've still got some use left in them. So that's what I would say the only negative is. Other than that, everything is in pretty good condition because she is a well-loved boat who lives in her little boathouse there. And yeah, so these cushions, we don't use them in the boat because the boat is more roomy if you don't have them in here. So we don't have them with us. We don't have these mattresses. They've lived in the house for years and years, 10 years, whatever. They've lived in the house because they don't get used. We don't use that as a bed. It's a queen size bed once you move the galley back, but it's storage for us because it's better to have storage in the boat. We find, because like say I'm going down the Gold Coast, like you're towing the dinghy right when you go around everywhere, around the bay and the Gold Coast and everything. But if you want to go in the open sea, I don't want to tow the dinghy through like the Southport Seaway. I don't want to tow a dinghy through a bar, so we'll deflate it and we'll put it in the stern berth there. So that's storage anyway, that's what I'm telling you. So we don't use it as a bed, but of course that's up to you because the galley slides back and then you can use that as a queen size bed. You can even get rid of, take the fridge out and put, there's an infill cushion there that goes there. Cockpit cushions, got the original Macgregor cockpit cushions. Back in the day they were like $550. We used them for quite a while, then we gave up on them because they get wet. If it rains, they get full of water, pain in the butt. You've got to bring them in the boat if it rains. And also, even at night, they get dew on them. That's a pain. So we just, in the end, thought, oh, they're not worth the hassle. So we made some out of exercise mats. Those exercise mats, I think they're still in the boat actually. They're probably in the U-berth up there maybe. But then we ended up doing this carpet, which is fantastic because it can just live in any weather, the carpet, it doesn't matter. So this thing here, this comes out, you can just take this cushion and this out. Makes the boat much more roomy and easier to get to the fridge and everything. We keep all this, you know, not in the boat normally, so the boat's more roomy if you get all that out. The table converts to another bed. You undo those clips over there, there's two clips, one on each side, and then you lower the table and you stick it in there, and then there's a big mattress in the back there. Now we do keep that in the boat because someone usually sleeps there at night with us. Obviously you wouldn't have to do that, depends on how many people you're going to cruise with, but then it becomes a nice big bed there. That's good. The boat can sleep, well, I guess if you're really pushing it, you could get two adults in there, as long as they weren't too tall. Like my missus and daughter normally slept in there. You get someone here, you could get one, I don't know about two, they'll be pushing it there. So you get 6 in the boat, and you can even have 2 sleeping in the cockpit. Be pretty cramped though, I must say. We found 2 adults and 2 children. It was the perfect size. Well, the perfect size for this boat would be 2 adults, and that's probably the most common ownership is like, you know, a couple of middle-aged or people that are a bit older, couples. It's the perfect size boat. There's enough room for everything. So this is the toilet, marine toilet. works. I'm not going to run it for too long because it needs to suck water. They come with a door on them, but it was like a bifold sort of door. Oh, it was just such a pain because it was so cramped in there. It was just impossible. So personally, we try and avoid doing number 2s in there anyway. You might maybe number 1s, but try and avoid it. But if you did have to, well, you just clear lower decks. Okay, everyone can get up there. Or if you wanted, you could rig a curtain here easily, or you could make a new door, but I wouldn't suggest it because it's so cramped in there. It's just not worth it, trust me. Like I said, we had leftover carpet. We put these little feature things there. The 4 of us, my missus and daughter, usually slept there. I usually slept here because I was the one jumping up all night every time there's a noise, because I'm insomniac already, and you know, when there's noises and that and the boat's rocking around, it's just, yeah, I'm up all the time. And my boy usually slept in there. You've got options with the galley because it's a sliding galley. So we keep it like that most of the time because there's just more room in the boat, right? And we usually keep an esky there. So we've got, if we're going out for 2 weeks or something, we've got the fridge freezer here. Okay, I didn't mention that. This is Evercool fridge freezer. It works fine. Let's have a look. There we go. The switch is just here. Flick it on. You can hear it flashing up there. It's very economical. So the solar panel going, it's still charging the battery while running the fridge. Very good. You can be out there for days and days, and as long as you've got sun, you're fine. So you've got options. You can use it as a fridge freezer. All this stuff comes out, and then it's just a fridge, right? And you have it down low, and it's just a fridge. Or you can use it as a freezer to make ice or whatever, keep your frozen stuff if you really want. And obviously it's going to use a bit more power. Not that it doesn't use much power at all. You have to research that. It's not much at all. Like I said, there's like a couple of amps or whatever it is. It's the batteries are still charging while this is running. But we tend to run it on economy mode like that, and you know, you only need to have it on like 1 or 2, I think it is, from memory, to keep everything cold if you just want to use it as a fridge, and it uses so little power. That's excellent, excellent. What else we got? So the galley, like I said. Okay, just a bit of a look at the galley. Now this is a Metho stove, Origo stove. They're very famous in the boating world, if you don't know about them. It's got a little chopping board that comes off there. Runs on just normal methylated spirits you buy at Bunno's. You know, to fill it up, all you do is just lift that up. This thing here comes out, you just pour your metho in there, and if you're not going to use it for a while, you put that thing on top and just leave it to stop it from going anywhere. But so that goes in there, clips in position, and you put 2 about there, and then you just use a lighter, long matches or whatever, to just start her up there. And you can make, look, I've made some fantastic meals on this. This combined with the barbecue, you can make anything. I make roast dinners with Yorkshire pudding and you know, roast potatoes, the works. I bake bread on here, cook pies, there's nothing you can't do once you get a bit creative with that stove and that barbecue. And so they don't come with the stainless steel sink, but they come with a pretty not so great fiberglass, just a recess down in there. Mine ended up with a chip in it, so I cut it out, put a stainless steel sink in there. It's got an electric tap. There's a tiny bit of water. There's no water in the bladder, so I'm not going to leave that running, but anyway, it works. What else have we got? So we've got these things here. Obviously they weren't there originally. I made those and put them on there for extra storage, which is fantastic. Alright, so in the most everything pretty much you need to go cruising is already in the boat. So what's happened is I've taken everything out of the boat, I've given it a clean, and then I've put basically everything back. So this is, I don't know what's in here. Look, certainly all the barbecue gear and everything's in here. Look, all barbecue gear. There's a there's a jib cover. You don't actually need that because the jib, the protecting strip protects it fantastic, but you can put that on if you like. I think the zipper might be no good on it, but you can still clip it together. There's all sorts of stuff in here in all these compartments. You know, there's stuff everywhere. So like I said, it's all been out of the boat and sorted out and put back in here. So now, well, the galley, I'm still showing you the galley. Right, so we can move these cushions out the way. Okay, and look, no, that's where we keep our food. There's your water bladder in there. The water bladder we don't use for drinking water. We use like those sort of blue containers you can get from Bunno's. We use that water. There is a filter, by the way. That filter under there, and it's cheap. That you can replace the filter cartridge. They're like 20 bucks or something online. But we don't drink out of it. We just use it for washing up and wash your hands, maybe brushing your teeth, things like that. It's fine for that, probably fine for drinking, but personally we're a bit squeamish, so we go with the bottled water stuff. Well, not bottled, we get it from home, but just put it in those big containers. So the galley slides back. Now there's three positions for the galley. There's that one that I showed you where you get the most space. If you were just a single person cruising, or maybe a couple, I think it's quite common to have it in this position. You just put the galley right there, put one of those cushions there, leave that one at home or something, and as you can see, the galley is now much more kind of, you know, where you want it to be, right in front of you. So in here, under the hatch, you've got full standing headroom. Well, that depends on your height, obviously. I'm 5'10", I've got full standing headroom, 6 foot, maybe you're getting close, 6'2", you're probably going to knock your head on up there. But you know, when you walk through under here, it starts getting lower and lower. Obviously, it's not full headroom all the way, but it is a trailer sailor, so you know, it's probably more internal volume in this boat than any other trailer sailor that I've been in. Anyway, I don't think there's too many more that would have more room inside than this. I'm sure there's a couple, some will say something, but not too many. So, you know, very good headroom in here. My missus, she can walk like, well, she could probably walk right up the front there in the V berth and still not hit the top. But so, like I said, most of the stuff you'd need for cruising is in the galley. Well, actually, the frying pan, there was a frying pan, but that's not in it, so you might have to buy one of those. Frying pan at the top, but everything else is there. And there you go, that's a great position to have it in if you're just cruising two of you. Now, I'll tell you, like, there's 4 of us, so my kids grew up in this boat with us cruising around the place. So how we generally did it is my daughter, and if I went out by myself, which I did a lot, I would usually sleep in the V berth up there. But if it's the 4 of us, it was usually my daughter and my wife be in the V berth up there, and I would be in this berth here, but the galley would be back there, like I said, so there'd be more room. I'll be in that berth and convert the table at night to a bed with that cushion that's down in there, that big cushion, and my boy would sleep there. So that's the way we did it. Of course, you can use that if you're comfortable with it, the pizza oven. It's in the tropics, you're going to be a bit hot in there. I know some people put actually opening ports down in there, and it looks pretty good too on those that do that. But I never got around to that, or didn't really need to, because there's just enough room not to go cutting into the hole. But if you're going to use the stern berth as a bed, you would probably keep the galley in the next position. You would get rid of these cushions, and you can slide it right up here, and then you just, oh my, that's the water connection there, all the water hoses and everything. You probably have to sort that out, but you can slide it right up, push it right up if you mess around, and you can get this cushion in here. There was a cover here, but it's a bit of dirt. There was a cover here, but I don't know where it is. It might be in the shed, it might not. If it's not, then a bit of plywood is how you make them. But I don't think you're probably going to use it that way anyway, because it's yeah, we don't. It's just, I don't know if anybody uses them that way. But you can, it's an option. It's an option, like I said. So this goes right back there. It's very roomy in here when you've got the when you've got it set up like this. Very roomy. What else have we got? I can't think of anything else. You can see it is what it is. And it is a lovely boat, I think, and it's going to be sorely missed. 14 years we've owned this boat, and the only reason we're selling, the house is for sale too. You want to make us an offer, you can have both the house and the thing, because we're doing a tree change thing. So the solar controller. So you just press that button, and you get to see it's on 13 whatever volts. And the batteries are brand new, by the way. I've only just put them in a couple of weeks ago. They're brand new, so you won't have any trouble with them for a long time. It's two times 100 amp hour. Just the basic connection to power. So whenever I leave the boat, I just make sure that's up. Like the fridge is not connected to that; that's separate. So the fridge is here, but it's off. Well, usually when I'm not using the boat, I actually undo that connection there, so just totally to make sure, you know, there's no way I can end up turning the fridge on, leaving it on or something. Quite simple, switches and everything. TV is here. We don't use the TV. We've got it. There's a TV aerial in the shed which will come with the boat. We only ever used it a handful of times. You stick it up the back there, you run a wire in here. Too much of a pain, couldn't be bothered. There's nothing on TV anyway, so we just use it for movies. There's a USB stick in here, and you can watch it in that position, or you can turn it right around and watch it in the cockpit. And when you're not using it, I just bring it in here, and then when you're rocking around out there, it can't move. Alright, so to turn it on, it's just this green button there. To be honest, I can't even remember how to use it, so I did just have to order a new remote control for it, because that was the batteries in it corroded, but thankfully you could get them quite easily on Fleabay. So you turn it on like that. If you've got the aerial in, you can watch TV, but otherwise you click this button over here, and then you go over here to USB, and then I can't really remember how this works. And you go in here, and somehow, whatever, movies, there you go, there's the movies there. What do we got? Dead Calm. Oh, that's a great movie. There you go, it's a great movie. There you go, I'll throw that in with the boat. How's that? Dead Calm. It'll make you feel nice and safe out there watching that one. A few others on there that might be alright. I don't know. It's probably mostly kids' movies. Anyway, rambling on again. I was remaking this because I made it once already, and I rambled on and just ran out of battery and whatever. So I'll just turn that off. EPIRB's in there. Sadly, I just worked out the EPIRB battery's out of date in a month, so factor that in. Flares in here out of date. You buy new flares, normal $60 or whatever for a set of 4. They're in there. Everything, there's all sorts of stuff in the boat. I took everything out the boat and I cleaned it, and then I put everything back into all the lockers. You know, all the barbecue gear's in there. You know, just everything you need. Pretty much you could go cruising now. You would probably want a couple of water bottles maybe in here, and maybe a frying pan in there, and probably even some meth though, and I'm not sure. And you will launch it and you'll be off. She is ready to go. Nothing really to do, nothing that I know of. Look, I think that's pretty much all I need to show you in here. Like I said, she ain't brand new, so don't expect a brand new boat. You know, a wise man once said to me, when you buy a boat, factor in 10% of the purchase price 10% of the purchase price for toys or things you're going to have to do or want to do to the boat when you get it. So that's the way you should look at it. Mostly it's in pretty good condition. Like I said, it's got the original sails, original rigging. But yeah, she's a great boat and we've loved her. And you know, if I was a millionaire and if I could take her with us and just maybe cover her up and leave her there until I retire, maybe that's what I'd do. But you know, it would be a bit silly. Better off just buying something else if I ever get to retire. So yeah, I got asked to make this video by somebody interstate. Now people want to buy sight unseen, that's up to them. But not sure that that's the way I'd go, but it's totally up to you. If you want to buy it, you just give me a deposit and you can buy it. And I'm getting the roadworthy done tomorrow, so there shouldn't be anything wrong with the roadworthy, because like I said, it's got a new axle, it's got new drawbar, well not new, 3 or 4 years ago, but they're not rusted out or anything. Brakes and all that stuff. So obviously if there is anything with the roadworthy, it's going to be fully make sure that it's roadworthy before I let it get driven away, because you know, once you drive it away it'll be your boat. So I'm going to make sure that it's roadworthy. If you buy it interstate, I mean the boat's insured, it's got 12 months registration on the boat now and 6 months on the trailer. But if you're buying from interstate, that's not going to work for you. You can use it to get home, and then you've got to deregister it. You've got to send me back a plate for the trailer, and then you have to register it in your state. That's how it works. Yeah, I think that's about it. What else do I need to do? This radio's been here. Amazing, it still works fine after all these years, but yeah, handheld radio. Okay, and always make sure you remember to turn the power off when you get out of the boat. Oh, the GPS. GPS, let's have a look at the GPS. Keep it in here. In a second, it's all right there. Look at this. This is your GPS. Still works fine. At some point, actually, it'll need to be replaced because, as I mentioned in the ad, after you're out there for a while, you'll see the corners going a bit black. That's pretty normal when they go in the sun for years. So, but it's still working now. Still working fine now. Yeah, how do you get rid of that? GPS connected. It's starting to pick up satellites now. No fix yet, but it will get one in a second. Takes a few minutes to find all the satellites. There's the puck up there. All the charts are in there. There you go, that's home. Now, it's just one other thing. Look, let's see. So as you can see, it works fine. Okay, so I just keep the GPS in here. I'm going to use the boat. With the GPS also, you get out there and you will have, if you've got no ballast, water ballast in, which we don't usually use the boat with no water ballast ever, but occasionally when we've been in a rush we'll drop the ballast underway so we can go a bit faster, and then you're not getting a good depth reading, because the person who fitted that originally, he put the transducer on top of the ballast tank. So I think it's still accurate because it's been calibrated, you know, to the depth of water, but, well, I think it is. But yeah, but that's not a big deal at all, trust me, because you'll just about always have ballast water in there because the boat's more stable and so it's safer. Why wouldn't you? And when you're cruising, like you're usually cruising at 5, 6, 7 knots. That's the way to go. That's the most economical way, and that's the quietest way. You can sit in the cockpit comfortably and talk with people and everything. And this kind of boat is not about the destination; it's about the journey. So you don't generally want to go anywhere too fast. Okay, and it's got a 50 on it, but if you wanted to go somewhere fast in one of these, I think you really have to do what some of those Americans do, put it like a 140 on there or something. But I think that's a bit crazy, to be honest. But anyway. Yeah. Anyway, that's about it. She'll be sorely missed when she goes. I've got all the there's the original brochure and even the CD with the movie or whatever it is, the sales thing. Got the workshop manual for the motor. There's a charger for the radio, I think, or the two-way radio. Manual for the boat, all bits and pieces, all the manuals and receipts and whatever is all in there. So it's all it's good to go. She's ready to go, and I think that's about everything that I need to do.